All right, here we go. Question number 16 from our 0314, homework number 4 in MyLab Math. Again, we have a bit of a word problem. It says we have $5,900 invested, part of it at 11% and part of it at 8%. For a certain year, the total yield is $565. How much was invested at each rate? And so over here, I have rewritten the important information in a way that it makes sense to me. First of all, breaking it down, it says that there's $5,900, and that is the total amount invested. That's the total amount invested. It says some of it at 11% and some of it at 8%. So of this $5,900, part of it is going to go into an 11% investment, and the rest of it is going to go into an 8% investment. Now, when it says the total yield, that means the total interest, and then it says for a certain year, that means in 1 year. The total interest that these accounts earn in 1 year is $565. So I think it's important to note that we're going to need a formula, and this is simple interest formula, okay? So the interest is principal times rate times time. This is the formula for simple interest. And the variables stand for I is the interest earned. That's how much money you're going to make on interest. P is the principal, which is the amount of money invested in that account. R is the rate, which is the percent that you earn. And T is the time, which is the number of years that the money is invested. And so we have two different accounts. Therefore, we're going to have two different setups for this equation. So let's get started turning this into an equation that we can solve for, okay? So we know for the first investment, the principal is, in other words, the amount invested at 11% is, I have no idea. I really do. So we're going to say X is the principal. The rate is 11%, so that's 0.11 as a decimal. You do have to convert a percent to a decimal to work with it. So what have we got so far? We've got principal times rate times time. And the money hasn't been invested for 1 year, so the time is 1. Now this right here will represent the interest earned at 11%, okay? That's the interest at 11%. I'm then going to add that to the interest earned at 8%. So I'm going to need the principal for the 8% investment, and I have no idea how much was invested at 8%, and I cannot use X. I've already used it. If I use it again, that means that I have the same amount in each account, and I don't know that that's true, okay? So I'm going to have to use a different variable. So we're going to say Y for this principal. The rate in this investment is 8%. Remember, you have to convert a percent to a decimal to work with it. And then multiplied by the time, again, which is 1 year. So all of this together, principal times rate times time, this is the interest earned at 8%. Now, if I add the two interests together, that will give me the total interest, which I know is 565, okay? So now I have an equation, but it's in two variables. So I'm going to actually need another equation to solve. The number of variables you have indicates the number of equations necessary to solve for the variables. So there is one other equation, Can you think of what it might be? Okay, so remember, what does X and Y represent? Those variables represent the amount in each account, and we know that we invested a total amount of $5,900. So the other equation is X plus Y equals 5,900. Because if I take the amount in each account, the principal, it has got to equal the total amount that we invested. Now I can solve using either the addition or substitution method, and I choose substitution. So I'm going to bring the X over, which makes it minus X. And then I'm going to be able to replace this Y here with what it's equal to here, okay? And so now we're going to set up a new equation. Well, not new equation. We're going to bring this equation down, and we're going to simplify it a bit, okay? So 0.11 times 1, that's 0.11. So this is going to be 0.11x plus 0.08 times 1, that's going to be 0.08 times y, which is going to get replaced with 5,900 minus x, and that's going to equal to 565. And now I can solve for x, okay? So the next step is to distribute 0.11x plus, bringing up our handy-dandy calculator, what is 0.08 times 5,900? 472. So 472 minus 0.08x equals 565. And now we're going to do two things in one step, okay? We're going to combine like terms, and we're going to move the 472 over. Killing two birds with one stone here. All right, so we're going to combine like terms. What is 0.11 minus 0.08? Okay, think of it this way. 11 cents minus 8 cents. Well, that's 3 cents. 8, 9, 10, 11. 3 cents. 0.03x. And again, if I pull up my handy-dandy calculator, that's going to be 565 minus, because the 472 is coming over, makes it minus, and that's going to be 93. And last step, to finish it off, to solve for x, we're going to divide both sides by 0.03. And again, one more time with the calculator, that's 93 divided by 0.03, $3,100. That is the amount that we invested at 11%. Okay, look right here. X was the amount that we invested at 11%. Now we need to find the amount invested at 8%. And remember, we said that those two amounts have to equal 5,900. So we know that y has to be 5,900 minus 3,100. That's going to be 2,800. $2,800. And if we check that real quick, that's 3,100 plus 2,800 has to be the amount that we invested originally. Remember, 5,900 total amount invested. And so if I add the two principals together, that's got to give me the 5,900. So that is done. Now all we have to do is put the right number in the right box. What was 11%? That was the 3,100. Yay. And the 8%, 2,800. And I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to put those in the comment section below, or you can text me. And thanks for watching.